During this video, we're going to look at the Speedwell eSystem live video exam module. It allows streaming so that all exam participants can take part in live exams such as orals, interviews and some OSCEs from remote locations. Using an OSCE exam as an example, we can see the process. Once the users have completed the pre-exam checks, they'll need to sign in and wait for the exam to start. When the exam starts, all the events and rotations will happen automatically. There'll be waiting time with a separate waiting room for candidates, followed by reading time for candidates. Then the timed exam will start and all participants will be connected. Candidate rotations will happen automatically. Multiple events are easy to schedule and can be run in parallel or scheduled for different times. Once all events have been completed, the exam ends. Useful admin functions ensure that the whole exam runs smoothly. In the next part of this video, we'll look at each part of the process more closely. Pre-exam preparation may include security and ID checks as required by the examining institution, after which each participant should run the remote OSCE computer check. The webcam should build and all the kit and connection checks should show as green and ready. Users can check audio quality, and if they need to change settings for the microphone and webcam they're using, any available options they have can be selected like this. Each exam participant will sign in plenty of time and browse to the URL they've been given and use the username and password they've received to sign in and access their event. Whilst waiting for the first station in their event to start, every candidate is held in their own waiting room and can see a waiting room message. The examiners and any simulated patients are sent straight to their allocated station and can immediately read their instructions. The timer at the top of the screen counts down to the exam start time. Next comes any allocated reading time. Each candidate can now read their specific station instructions. The timer counts down through the reading time at the top. At the end of reading time, the station begins. The candidate is connected to the examiner or examiners and any attached simulated patient. During the station, all participants can communicate with each other using their mics and webcams. If the station contains images, the candidate or examiner can activate the image by clicking it. This will allow simultaneous interaction with the image. This candidate shares the image by placing their C marker on it. The simulated patient can now place their SP markers as well so that they can clarify their symptoms for the candidate. Once this part of the discussion has finished, they can each close the shared image. The examiner marks every interaction. In this station, every task must be marked, but the comments box at the end is optional. When the timer counts down to the end of the station, the candidate will be finished at this station and will be moved on. Candidates move on to their next station automatically in their exam event. As one candidate leaves a station, the next candidate arrives. If there's waiting time, the candidates go back to their own waiting room and can see their own waiting room messages. When reading time starts for the next station, each candidate can see the instructions for their next station. Examiners and any attached simulated patients wait in their station. The examiner checks the marks they entered and moves on to the next candidate mark screen. The next candidate number is clearly shown at the top of the screen. When the next candidate joins, the examiner checks this number against the new candidate webcam and the station begins again. This process of waiting, reading time, marking and rotation continues until this event is over. Once all events are complete, the exam will end. Multiple events are easy to organise and automate. Events can run at the same time or be scheduled at different times according to each organisation's needs. The examiner or examiners remain at their events, as do any attached simulated patients. The candidates move on to the next station until all the stations in their event are completed. Administrative functions such as observing and monitoring allow checks to be made to ensure every event runs smoothly. Observers can choose which station they want to observe. They can't be seen or heard by the exam participants. They can read examiner, candidate, and simulated patient instructions using the buttons at the bottom, as well as leaving or switching stations at any time during the event. When an exam is being observed, participants will notice the observer eye symbol at the bottom. If any participant needs help during an event, they can use the Help button on the right-hand side to activate the chat box. They can use this box to send messages to the exam administrator. When an administrator receives a message from one of the participants, they can send and reply immediately. Any participant can get help using the chat feature, and their messages will only be seen by the administrator. Using the Exam Monitor feature, administrators can check that all participants are connected to the exam. They can resolve any issues and make sure that everything is working as it should be. In extenuating circumstances, they can pause and resume events. After the live video exam is complete, the post-exam statistics and results are available using a wide variety of reports and exports. Our helpful support team are based in the UK and are available to assist with any queries you have. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube to be kept up to date with all our latest news and product videos.